Huck might actually be getting ready to gear for a fourth base here. He's got a lot of saturation, tons of probes. And this observer is just hanging out here in the perfect spot to see when that army moves out. But Huck's going to poke him with his blink stalkers here. Going to take out some creep tumors maybe. Yep, definitely going to take out the creep tumors, which is good. Get as little creep as possible for the Zerg out in the middle of the map. Zerg going to, react a little bit. Getting a greater Spire up now, and 3-3 coming out for the Zerg, and Huck is still only just finishing his 2-2 in a couple seconds here. Zerg's going to push out on the map, take control of the watchtowers. Going to pick off one stalker, do a run by, and going to be scouting for bases here. Hoping to maybe snipe a base from Liquid Huck here, but he's going to run up and just get these Zerglings lost by these Colossi, run them into cannons. Just definitely only really wanted to use them for scouting and to make sure that he knew he was ahead. I mean, Bird Lord's now coming out. This is going to be a really, really powerful army. I don't even think Huck knows about this fourth base. No, he doesn't. So there's those Zerglings. Going to be doing a little bit of harassment to this new base. He might have to cancel this Nexus. Now, the Blink Stalkers are here. Probably going to be able to save it. And does he need to cancel? No, he saves the Nexus. Okay. Phew. I was scared there for a second. He's getting the... Actually, he's getting... Is that the upgrade for Warp Prisms? He has the upgrades for his Observers and Warp Prisms. So he's spending his money on everything. I mean, he's just got so much that he just needs to spend it. I mean, both players are maxed out. I'm sorry, I have only one person's view on. Both players are maxed out with Tier 3 units. But I think the Zerg actually has the scarier army with all these Banelings and the Broodlords. Huck is going to have his forces pretty well contained when they go to engage. Dark Shrine going down, Templar Archives. I mean, definitely not enough gateways. Oh, and a couple of Baneling bombs go off in this third here, but the armor on the probes actually doing a lot to save them. He's still going to be saturated on this base and be able to move probes over to gas and be okay. I have his observer taken out, and Zerg's army is gearing up to attack this base here. Huck double expanding, actually, getting this one up with a whole bunch of cannons around it. So this one's fairly safe for now, but Zerg's army is going to move in, and this is going to be pretty powerful here. A lot of Broodlords, a lot of Roaches, a couple of Corruptors for the Colossi, and Huck is just going to have to be really, really careful here as my frame rate tanks during this battle. Down to 7, 8. I'm just going to have to look away for a second. Sorry about that. But anyway, Huck getting Baneling drop, takes out most of the Roaches there, blinks underneath the Broodlords, and he's taking out the Broodlords pretty well here, but all these Baneling drops are just doing so much damage to the Stalkers. He actually only has 2 Stalkers left, and no, the last one's going to get taken out before the final Broodlord gets taken out. This Corruptor's doing so much damage to these Colossi, but Huck actually comes out on top of that battle. Takes out every ground unit and all the Broodlords for the Zerg. Huck going to take out these back rocks. Probably going to go take out these ones just for fun. Probably going to go try and snipe as many Overlords as possible. Huck reinforcing as quickly as possible with more Colossi. Getting his 3-3 up. Zerg is actually getting his air attacks. Huck is thinking about taking this base up here. Supply blocks the Zerg. So Huck going to be in the bit of an advantage here because he got to keep this base. He has the stronger army for it. And he actually has a Warp Prism warping in so many Zealots. Oh my god, it's going to be able to take out... He's just going to be able to take out this whole base with just nothing but a whole bunch of Zealots. I wish they had charge. But you know what? That's okay because this is going to do so much damage. And a whole bunch of Roaches coming in from the Zerg player. None of them with Burrow. They're going to go after this base here and try and do the same amount of damage that Huck is doing to his base. But so many cannons here. And Huck's forces are going to move out. Might lose this Nexus. But if he can take out this force here, this base is in a lot of trouble for this Zerg. So Huck is probably going to end up being ahead anyway. Going to move up here. Going to go try and snipe this other Nexus, which I think it's also going to go down. But Huck shouldn't be in too bad of a position if he could just hold this off with this base finishing up here, killing off these Roaches. It'd be so huge for Huck. The Immortals are going to come in. He needs some good force fields here to hold these off. I mean, these Roaches don't have Burrow or anything. Equal upgrades. I'm sorry, Huck only has 2 attack and 3 armor, but look at this. These Immortals just tearing apart these Roaches, and the Colossi doing work too. Archons coming in from our Zerg player, or coming in from Huck in the Zerg player's base. Probably going to hope to go in there and do a bunch more damage. And the Archons move in for some more harassment. These roaches aren't going to stand a chance, and the Archons are just going to do so much damage with their extra attack against Bio. And these are unupgraded Archons. They are not massive. Their range is still at 2. So look at that, just tearing through these roaches. I mean, with the new patch and Archons being so much better than they are in this game, I've been trying to work them into my play here. Just look at them, tearing apart these couple of Hydras. Definitely needs more Hydras. But Huck, moving out in the middle of the map, they're going to wait for his Immortals to come to tank some damage from, and get the Colossi to take out these Spine Crawlers from range here. But a couple of Broodlords morphing in. I don't think Huck has enough Stalkers to be able to take this out, especially with Infestors on the field now. He's going to be able to fungal growth the Stalkers to stop them from blinking in. But Huck just going to go and get his bases that he lost back up and running. Saturate this base up here, which it looks like, oh, the Warp Prism actually flew in here and dropped in a whole bunch of Zealots to try and do some damage to the main. Did a bunch of damage to structures here, but didn't actually get to kill anything off. So realistically, it was just a bunch of units that were a distraction. Definitely, I think, saved Huck's base up here because the Zerg could easily push this position with Broodlords. But he's more so on the defensive than I think Huck is right now, with Huck just getting a whole bunch of Archons to tank, warping in High Templar, which is going to be so devastating against this army. I mean, Zerg are all Bio, but a bunch of Hydralisks in this mix now are going to be taken out by storms pretty easily, and only a few Broodlords. I think Huck still needs more Blink Stalkers, though. I mean, just to get the rest of his supply maxed out in Blink Stalkers, I think would be really to his advantage. And to get that third attack upgrade, I don't know if he knows he doesn't have it or not, because I thought I saw him working on it and then losing it at one point. But hopefully he realizes soon that he doesn't have it and it gets that, because that's going to make everything work out so much better. This Warp Prism down here gearing up to wait for the Zerg to attack. He's going to move on all these Zealots and this Archon into this base to harass it right now, right as he sees the Zerg getting close to his base. Going to run in and try and do as much damage as possible, distract him, but this Zerg is just going to try and move in to take out this base here and put Huck further behind. Huck's forces are up here, though. Going to be able to sandwich this Zerg into a choke if he actually moves out. But Huck really needs to blink up, take out these Broodlords, because I don't think he's going to win this battle because of the Broodlords. I mean, there's just too many Broodlings, whole bunch of Blink Stalkers coming in. Going to blink underneath the Broodlords. Everything else is distracted by Huck's Colossi, but Huck just does not have enough. Too many Broodlords, and Huck just doesn't have enough to hold this off. I think he's actually going to lose this game right here. I'm actually legitimately pretty sad about this because he played just absolutely so well. I wish that I could even get to this point in a game against the Zerg, but we'll see what happens. Maybe Huck can pull off some kind of miracle win, but I don't think it's going to happen. But a really good game from the Zerg player. Huck is just trying his best. Look at his APM, just Zerg's so low, he knows he has it in the bag. Nothing being produced from either player right now. Huck trying to hold on. I don't see it working. Gonna go up and see if he can't find a base here. He's only gonna find a lonely probe. I mean, Huck's got a bunch of minerals to work with right now, but not really mining from any places, just mining from right here. His natural is gone and his main is gone. So here we go, Blink Stalker's blinking in, gonna try and take out these Broodlords, but there's Hydras still left. And all the rest of the roaches from Zerg's army are gonna move in here. Huck probably really wishing he had that +3 attack upgrade right now, because that would help out so much. High Templar up on the high ground here, but of course, since they got nerfed in the patch, 2 patches ago, and patch 1.3, they don't automatically come with storms, so they are not going to be very helpful here in this situation. Dark Templar are going to come in, try and snipe as many Hydras as possible. Finally, we have storms for our High Templar. Going to morph him into an Archon after he uses the storms, getting all these Zerg units down to really low health, but Huck just does not have enough money to be able to win this game. I don't see it happening. Huck is trying really hard to hold everything up, but more Broodlords coming in. And just 3 Blink Stalkers. Not even the Archons survive right now. I mean, these DTs are doing really good work on these roaches and everything. Some roach micro. Oh, a couple of Blink Stalkers more blinking in from the high ground. Going to be able to take out this Broodlord here. These Stalkers going to be trying to focus down these Broodlords, but there's just too many of them, and Huck has to GG from the game. I mean, I think here at the end, this got really, really close. This base got taken out for the Zerg player. He didn't lose that many drones here, but probably took some damage down here. And once he had this base up and running, because they were pretty much near the same economically, but the Zerg just had so much banked that he was able to hold off at the end of the game there, and Huck wasn't. Definitely a good game. Hope that the rest of them are just as good. Hopefully we'll get some Huck wins here, because I mean, I saw a lot of stuff that I could learn from myself, and hopefully you guys can learn too as either Zerg or Protoss. But anyway, I'm going to move on to the next free play, and I will see you guys in the next match. Peace.